Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into what is, without a doubt, the absolute bedrock skill for any business analyst or scrum master out there: gathering requirements. When it comes to building IT systems, getting this right is everything. It's the difference between a project that soars and one that, well, doesn't. So let's get right into it. So let's just start with a really basic question that gets right to the core of why this all matters so much. How in the world do you build a complex IT system if you have no blueprint to follow? And the answer is, well, it's as simple as this. You don't. You just can't. That blueprint for any IT system, that's what we call requirements. Trying to build without them is a guaranteed recipe for failure, and getting that blueprint right is absolutely mission critical. So at its heart, gathering requirements really boils down to three key things. First, what does the business actually need? Second, why do they need it? And third, how is this new system we're building going to deliver on that need? It really is the essential bridge between a business problem and a tech solution. Okay, now here's something you have to get your head around before you even think about asking your first question. You have to understand the landscape, because your approach is going to change, and I mean dramatically, depending on which of these three project worlds you're living in. Let's break them down. What I love about this is how clearly it lays out the differences. You've got your custom build, which is born from scratch, built in-house, with the goal of creating something totally new. Then you have enhancements, where you're just adding to a system that's already up and running. And finally, SaaS or COTS, where you're not really building anything at all. You're bringing in a pre-built solution and making it work for you. First up, the custom build. The best way to think about this is like designing and building a house from the ground up. You've got a totally empty plot of land, an idea, and now you have to create the entire blueprint for something that has never, ever existed before in your company. Next, we've got enhancements. So if we're sticking with our house analogy, this isn't building from scratch. This is more like a renovation. The house is already standing, but maybe you're adding a new wing or remodeling the kitchen. You're working within a structure that's already there. And finally, there's SaaS or COTS. Now, in this world, you're not building the house at all. You're basically buying a prefabricated home. Think something like Salesforce or Workday. Your job isn't to build it, but to configure it, pick the right features, and set it up so it works perfectly for your company's needs. All right, so now that we've got a handle on these three different worlds, let's talk strategy. Let's get into the specific game plan for each one. Because trust me, the way you approach gathering requirements has to be tailored. Starting from scratch is a completely different ballgame than tweaking an existing tool. When you're on a custom build, you're really starting with a totally blank slate. So your first move is to just absorb the big picture, get into that business case, read the project charter. From there, you work your way down. You define the goals, you figure out who your stakeholders are, and then you define the high-level what before you even think about starting your detailed gathering sessions. Now, with enhancements, you have a massive advantage. The system already exists, so your most important first step is to start right there. Become an expert. I mean it. Dig into old documentation, get yourself access, and just play around in the system. Learn all its quirks. Only then can you really understand the goals of the enhancement and who's going to be impacted. For a SaaS project, things are a little different. There's this really unique and critical step right at the beginning: market research. Once you get the business case, a huge part of your job is to help find the best tool out there. This means you're comparing all the features, the bells and whistles, of different products to see which one is the best fit, before you dive into how to configure it. Okay, so we've got a game plan for each project type. Awesome. But no matter which world you're in, there is one incredibly powerful principle for documenting everything you learn. I like to call it the past and future framework, and it is so effective. This quote just says it all, doesn't it? You can't possibly chart a course to a new destination if you have no idea where you're starting from. This simple, powerful idea is the absolute key to documenting requirements the right way. So here it is, the secret sauce. You always start with the current state. You have to document how things are being done right now, even if it's a messy, manual, clunky process. This creates your baseline. It's how you truly learn the business. Only after you've nailed that down can you accurately map out the future state, how things should be done. And that future state, that becomes your requirements. That becomes your blueprint. Now, of course, all of this, the game plans, the documentation, it all hinges on one thing: your ability to ask amazing questions. Your role isn't just to be a note taker. No way. You are a detective. Your job is to investigate, to dig, and to uncover the real why behind every single step of every process. Sooner or later, I promise you, you are going to hear this exact phrase. And when you do, boom, alarm bells should be going off in your head. That is not a business reason. It's just a habit. And that's your cue to pause, lean in, and dig much, much deeper. This is where the real analysis begins. Think of this as your detective's toolkit. These are the questions that get you past those surface-level answers. You always start with observation. Show me how you do this. Then you dig in with the most powerful question of all. Okay, so why do you follow these specific steps? From there, you just keep exploring. Ask about triggers, risks, purpose. And then you ask the golden question. From your perspective, how could this work better? You'll be amazed. Your stakeholders often know exactly how to fix their own problems. Your job is to listen and connect the dots. In the end, it all comes down to this one question. This is the question you have to constantly ask yourself on any project. Are you just taking a broken manual process and, automating it? Or are you seizing this opportunity to challenge old assumptions, to streamline things, and to create real, lasting efficiency for the business? Answering that, my friends, is what separates a good analyst from a truly great one.